Welcome to the Sacred Success Summit, where you access the secrets to sacred success and become even more of the goddess you've always known you were. Your host for this session is Candace McKim. Candace is a #1 international best-selling author, TEDx speaker, and renowned intuitive manifestation coach, known for her vibrant approach to helping purpose-driven women manifest more income and impact sustainably. Co-creator of this summit, Candace is eager to introduce another inspirational guest. Take it away, Candace.
Welcome everybody. I am so excited to have our next guest on, Ashlie Allen. And Ashley's going to be talking about flip the fear, creating ease for the soul. So welcome, Ashlie. I'm super excited because we speak about this, a lot of the same stuff. So thank you so much for being here.
You too. Thank you. I am so excited to be here.
Alrighty. So let me introduce you properly. So Ashlie Allen is Chief Possibility Officer of Ashlie Allen Inspired Living and Wellness and an intuitive spiritual guide and channel. She specializes in helping clients uncover their soul's path and gifts. She supports them in breaking out of old cycles and finding new possibilities within. She incorporates Reiki as a Reiki Master and practitioner of Feng Shui, meditation, spirit communication, sound healing, NLP, and quantum healing in Akashic Records. She offers courses, coaching, and retreats in her Beyond Inspired community. Welcome, Sherry, or Ashlie, sorry. I'm just thinking.
No worries. Hello.
Okay, there's something else happening here with the sound. Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Very excited.
All right, so guide us, let us know how you've been guided on this path. Like, you've taken so much training, you're so experienced. So let us know how you've been guided on this path to get here.
So I'll start by saying that it doesn't make sense. So at face value anyway. So what really guided me to this path ultimately was fear. So in a lot of ways, fear has become a good friend of mine. It's why it's something that I really love talking about. My whole life, I have been, as I look back on it, largely driven by fear of doing something wrong, fear of, you name it, any fear that one could have, I probably had it. Fear of heights, I've got it. And I got to a point in my life where I got sick of it. And I realized there's only one way I'm going to be able to deal with this is if I find a way to change what it means to me. And okay. I was able to do that earlier on in my life with my career. I was really fortunate and able to manifest this wonderful career in nursing education where I've gotten to work with the most amazing people. And I got to this point in my life, I was in my early 30s, and I had this, great job, great husband, great everything. I mean, I can't complain about anything. Yeah. And it felt like something was missing. And I knew that it was a child, but there was something else to it. I found some of the fears that I'd had as a child arising once again. And I thought, I have no business having a baby if I don't take care of this now, because what's going to happen is that she's going to have the same things occur. And I'm going to be in a state of just complete pause, not being able to help her or assist her or move her through it, because I will be just as afraid as she is. So it
right, and then even passing those fears on to her.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. A lot of fear surrounding spirituality, surrounding divine connection, surrounding what was that noise? Was that my grandmother? What did I see while I was sleeping? A lot of those things that I had buried away, and I had really just tried to hide from because it didn't fall into the box of what I was raised in. And I had very supportive parents, so that wasn't a part of it, but it was outside of the normal box, being raised Catholic. And I thought, well, okay, we're diving in. So all of these certifications, it was a way of me just diving in to figure out, okay, where do we go to take this fear of this deep connection and turn it into something really good? Because I knew deep down that it could be something really, really good if I let it.
Right, right. So it sounds like you, like as a young child, were really spiritually awake, and how it
Very.
showed up was through fears, because on some level it's like,
Mm.
this is not the same as everybody else. And is that accurate?
1,000%, a
Mm.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had that
Yeah.
same experience where, like 3 years old, I'm being asked to pray, like kneel down beside my bed and pray to God. And I'm like, if there's a God, there's got to be like, if there's a masculine energy, there's got to be a feminine energy. And so like at 3 years old, I was praying to both, because I knew there was a masculine and a feminine energy, right? Like, and it's like that type of knowing, right? That's what you're
Mhm.
talking about?
Yeah, there was this deep connection to something bigger,
Yeah.
and I was getting signs regarding it. I mean, I'd wake up and it wouldn't just happen when I was sleeping or when I was in a prayer state. Things would happen throughout my day that didn't add up to me.
Yeah.
And the deeper I got into my faith in God, or whatever the word is for, anybody, right? God, source. The deeper I got into it, the bigger the fears got, the bigger the problems got for me. And it got too serious and I stepped away from it. I just stepped away, and I stepped away for a lot of years.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And I think a lot of people can relate to that it shows up as fear. I must be doing something wrong. What is this? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to be going about it this way. What if I'm doing it wrong? What if there's a repercussion even to connecting to my inner wisdom, to connecting to divine source, or
Yeah.
connecting just to that part of you that knows? Let's call it that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
part of you that
Yeah.
just knows.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Okay. So let's dive into your first mind shift, or
Mhm.
yeah, whatever you want
Mhm.
to share with us.
Yes, so you may believe fear is a sign of weakness. And here is why that it's false. So, a lot of times we think of fear as this thing that we avoid it. If you're afraid of heights, for example, you might avoid heights, right? A great simple example.
Yeah.
And it can be, if you allow it to be, it can be a sign from the divine, and it can be a pathway into freedom. So, if you allow fear to be present, recognize it, it can be a sign of freedom. And so I'm going to give you an example, because this is so big picture.
Mhm.
Think about, for those of you who swim or have tried to learn how to swim, we may have all have gone in water at some point, in that first moment where you're learning how to swim.
Yeah.
The deeper you go into the water, you find yourself paddling, maybe sinking down a little bit, and it takes a synergy to be able to realize that swimming doesn't have to be so hard.
Mhm.
And even if you turn into a good swimmer, it can still feel like you're having to paddle really hard to stay afloat, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
can everybody just think back to that time you learned how to swim? And even if you don't like it now, can you associate it with, oh gosh, yeah, I can't do it for hours, right? It can be tough the
Yeah.
first time you're
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah. And it feels like
So
you're going down instead of forward, and you're like,
yes,
but you're going straight down.
I am going to sink. That is what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you allow fear to be this pathway to freedom, it's like when you're swimming, stop swimming. So that phrase, just keep swimming, stop swimming. Okay. Get on your back and float. It gets to be easy. You don't have to work as hard. You don't have to move as much. You can simplify it, and it can work even better for you. And that ease can translate into every facet of your life. It doesn't just have to be your spirituality. It can go into everything, every
Right.
facet.
Okay. So give us another example of where that goes.
So yeah, I'll take it a step further. So we want to make it easy. So day to day, we have these things we tell ourselves. And I'll give a great example that I'm living right now. You wake up, you look at your inbox, and there's a lot of emails. And seeing that first number of emails that you got overnight or that happened when you weren't watching, you can feel this, again, this sinking feeling that we might feel when we're learning how to swim. And I might go, oh my gosh, there's no way I can manage this. This is way too much. And that feeling of overwhelm can take over. And
Yeah.
if you know me, you've heard me say this, because I live and die by it. I have this sticky note on my computer screen that I've had for years. And it says, thank you for the opportunity to manage this abundance. And I
Mm.
can look at that and I can go, I have all these emails, but I am so fortunate that I'm getting these emails, that I have this career, that I have this type of abundance, and it's really manifested into all these great things in my life. So no matter what's going on, you have the abundance. What are you doing with it? What are you
Okay, so
making of it?
let's just take a moment. So, what does the sticky note say again? Thank you for this opportunity for this abundance.
Thank you for the opportunity to manage this abundance.
Oh, to manage.
We are managing it because we have it. We don't have to go get it. We're always
Yeah.
managing it. It's just a matter of what form it takes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's a drop the mic moment. I'm gonna put that in the chat. That's amazing. Yeah, like Michelle said, boom.
It's my favorite reminder.
Yeah, and you just have it
Forever
on your
reminder.
sticky note right on your computer.
I do. Never
So
leaves.
yeah, so it's that's such a great reminder that, yeah, like we think the abundance is overwhelming, but it's like, but thank you for being able to manage it. Thank you for giving me the,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
awesome.
changes where the power lies, right?
Exactly. Okay, so tell us your second one.
Okay. So people will tell you that your space is a reflection of who you are. And
Mhm.
I say that's false.
Okay.
So when you think of ease in life, you might not think about your space initially. But if you want a
When you
really
think,
easy,
sorry, say that again. When you think of what?
when you think of ease in life, you
Oh,
may
ease in
not think
life.
about your space, you might not think about your environment.
Yeah.
But if wanting a transition to ease and abundance is something that you want, I think the easiest way to do it is to use your space as the tool for that. So it's not a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of what's happening now for you. And you can shift it into your space reflecting everything that you really want and everything that that you do represent. And I think so many times we let our space represent maybe the parts of us we don't love. And I'm a messy person, so I can claim this right now. My husband would be nodding furiously.
I love that. Like I have altars all over my house. And my background is I became a social worker and then I became a yoga therapist. And I have some memory and I had a studio for 17 years. So I have a lot of stuff. But in every single room in my home, I have some sort of representation of yoga because it is one of my top values as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that reconnection all the time. And I have an altar on my desk, like you can see things behind me that, yeah, there's always this reminder to come back to my core, come back to myself. And I have people that come into my house all the time and they're like, oh my God, the energy in here. It's such nice energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I strive for. So I completely relate to that.
Yeah.
And when I find myself being in a room and not feeling like it brings me up, I look
Yeah.
around and say, okay, what needs to change now? Is there a plant that needs to come in here? Is there something that means something to me? Is there a corner full of crap that I need to go through? And honestly, for me, there's always something I've created that I need to do. I need to do that. So I cycle through that process, allow yourself to do it. But
Yeah.
the space and having that be a reflection of what you really want in your life is the simplest way to start creating it.
I love this. And it's such an easy thing to do. And I did that one time. We were living in a different city and my husband was working out of town and I started creating piles in the corners. It was always in a corner. And I was like, I said to my husband, I said, I don't know why, but I've started creating piles in the corners. He goes, yeah, I've noticed that. And so it was like, but I know there was something more going on. Right. And then
Yes.
we moved and I haven't done that in this home. But so what
Oh,
is
yeah.
that? What is that piles in the corner? What is it?
So the piles in the corner, a lot of times, and in Feng Shui, we're looking at energy, and I work with a lot of energy. It goes beyond. We think of our inner wisdom and what we are emanating in our energy, but it goes into our space just as much. So when you have that pile, there is a representation of how it could be impacting you in your life, and even it can even get down to the space that it exists in your home. So if it's in, and I'm going to call the most widely known thing for anybody who's familiar with Feng Shui, your money corner. We all want our money corner to be good. We want it to be free of clutter. And as a quick tip, if you're looking at your home from the front door, it's that left corner where there's the roof. So if you go to the furthermost left corner, the back of your house, that's your money corner. Make sure that there's not clutter. Make sure there's not a litter box. Clean that up, make it something that represents what abundance looks like or what you want it to look like for you.
I have a money plant. I have a money tree in that corner.
I do too.
Not doing that well though, to be honest.
Ooh, okay. So
my husband and I were just discussing it this weekend and he said, I said it needs watering. He said, I think it was being overwatered and that's why it's not doing that well. So that's
It
interesting.
could have been. It totally could have been. And money trees can be a little temperamental too. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Okay. All right. I don't want to run out of time because I love
sure.
this. This is so interesting. So tell me your next mind shift.
Oh, this one really gets me. The gurus will tell you to follow their rules and rituals. And here's why you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever you might work with, they'll say, do this meditation followed by this journaling, followed by this process. And we can even make it simpler. We could talk about your diet and they say, follow this diet, don't eat before noon, don't eat this or that. Again, this can apply to anything, but the rituals really, they can be the death to self-sovereignty because it's eliminating the you and your choice out of it and the you listening to you. And especially if you're on a spiritual path and you want to get to know you and you want your inner wisdom to be stronger, why are you following a path somebody else gave you?
Yeah.
Now, initially a framework does make sense. So if you're using a framework or you're trying out things, totally think that's great. In fact, try all the things. I love trying all the things, but pay attention to what feels good to you and what doesn't. And when there's something that doesn't, throw it out. Now, there's an asterisk here with this. Pay attention to the part of it that doesn't feel good, because meditation doesn't feel good to anybody in the beginning. Okay, it's uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to having a quiet mind, and most of us are not, myself included. So give it some time and give yourself grace with it. And you don't have to have a meditation every day. You don't have to go on a run every day. You don't have to do all of these things every day to have a clear mind, whether it's exercise, meditation, walking. Just try different things and pay attention to what your response is to it, and pay attention to the things that you feel satisfaction at the end after you've done it. And maybe just do it a few times a week. You can do these things just a few times a week and still get the benefit of all of it. It doesn't have to be this, to clear your root chakra, bathe in red and light the incense and whatever it might be. You don't have to do all of that. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, we're overcomplicating it. But then I especially love the part about the guru, because it's just more dogma, right? It's more rules that we have to follow, like government rules, religious rules. It's like, okay, we're going on a spiritual path, and then now we're going to follow this dude's rules, right? It's just more and more pressure on ourselves when we know, I believe we know inherently on our own what we need. Like, what does our body need? What does our soul need? What does our mind need at any given moment? But we overcomplicated, thinking that the guru or the priest or the president knows more than we do.
And if we take a minute just to sit in that time with ourselves, the answer will come. And it doesn't always come in the moment you're asking for it. You can be playful with it and it can come later. And I love it, by the way, when it happens that way, when you're playful about it. And then the answer comes really easily later on because you weren't so serious. We do all of this so seriously sometimes too.
Oh, no. Yeah. And spirit's fun. Spirit wants us to have fun and play. And I love that. It's so
make a game out of it.
Yeah. And we do overcomplicate it. Like, we do feel like we have to do it, like, even in these different orders. I mean, and I love the idea. I love that you're telling people about meditation, because for me, been meditating since I was 12 years old, which is unusual.
Yeah.
So it comes so when things come like, because I've been doing it for so long, it comes simple. So then I forget that wasn't that easy at first. And yet still I do my grocery list though, still when I'm meditating, right? You still do the grocery list.
I do too. And I don't plan on it going beautifully every time. I just spend some time with myself and even allow it to happen in the car if that's when it's happening. If my time with my thoughts and the incoming is there, then that's where it is. And that's where it was intended to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time I was meditating, and it was before, like, it was quite a long time ago. And I'm like, I'm really good at this. I should start teaching meditation. And then I'm like, okay, Candace.
You know what? I think all of us could learn from one another about meditation, because there's so many ways to do it, and it's not wrong. Whatever you're doing, it's not wrong. It's not a special gift that some of us were given and the rest of us were just excluded from. And I think that's another another myth we have tied to it, that some of us are just good at it.
Yeah.
I was never good at it, and I teach it now. What?
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be good, bad, or
Right.
whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell everybody about your free gift. And so just a reminder, the free gift is for everybody that's watching. Everybody gets this. So what is your free gift that you're offering?
So these are 2 free meditations that you didn't know that you needed to get ready for the summer. Okay. So one is just a 3-minute breath. So when you feel like you have no time, you can just press play and not worry about what's next. Okay. So 3 minutes, just focus on breath. This other one it's a starter for the day. So you could use it to gear up for your day. So you can press play while you're getting ready for your morning. And again, just a few minutes. So if you have a short attention span like I do, it still can work with your schedule. And again, it's okay if you don't do it every day. You can do it a couple times a week and get the benefits.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the link is right here in the chat. So click it. I'm just going to click it right now. And then it opens up right into your browser. It doesn't take you out of here. All right. And now tell everybody about your VIP gift.
Okay, super excited about this. So if the idea of shifting your atmosphere was intriguing to you, then you'll love this. There's a 3-hour Feng Shui masterclass that you can take part in that is pre-recorded, self-paced. You can do it whenever you want to learn about it. And it'll allow you to take a look at your home and make just little changes that could have a huge impact. And then also I am starting a new series in June. It's called the Inspired Connections Community, and it's a 4-week pathway to really getting comfortable with all this meditation stuff and getting comfortable with listening to that inner wisdom and creating the abundance that we really want. So 1 month of that. And then finally, 30-minute one-on-one with me, where we will really dive into your soul path and what you're intended to do and your purpose.
Wow, that's amazing. So what's the value on all that? That's huge.
Okay, the value is actually over $500.
Yeah, I was going to say, that seems like a really high value.
It is, yeah, it is, for sure.
Okay, so if you haven't got your VIP ticket yet, go get your VIP ticket, because just getting Ashley's VIP gift is going to be worth way more than the ticket. So, and you can get it. Or you can go to our website and pay full price, but
you could do that too. Yeah.
But you may as well get it for free with your VIP upgrade, and then you can get all of the other gifts. This was so cool. We could talk, I'm sure, all day long. Even though we both talk very quick, we both talk pretty quickly. So we got lots covered.
We can awesome. Get right to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, share some last words of wisdom for everybody.
Ask yourself, look at all of your fears. Ask yourself what your biggest fear is right now, and then give yourself the chance to think about how it could turn into freedom for you. How can this fear transmute into freedom? And then finally, stop swimming so hard and start floating. Make it easy. It's a matter of thinking about it in the forefront as being easy. So.
Okay. Yeah. So when we ask the question, then do we just pause and listen for the answer?
So I would say pause, yes. And whatever fear comes up first, that's the one. Grab that one. Even if it's the one you want to say, oh, no, not that one. Grab that one. That's a sign that it's something you were meant to really get in front of. And if you dive into it rather than avoiding it, it could create a huge catalyst for some of the things in your life that maybe you aren't yet manifesting.
Okay. I love that. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. This was Ashlie Allen, and make sure that you grab her gifts. There's the link in here to upgrade to VIP, and don't forget to donate to the village, to build a village, and match my donation, everybody. Go there and donate. Thanks again, Ashlie.
Awesome. Thanks, Candace. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session on the Sacred Success Summit. For more information or to apply to be a speaker at one of our upcoming events, email our team at breakthrough@clarityconfidenceconnection.com. ashliallen.com. Now, tune in to another transformational speaker.